Okay, again, as with every week, it says we're live, and let's just double check that it's true. Let me see how I've done this here. View here. No, that's not correct. I'm thinking that, yeah, it's come up as a listing on Facebook, which is why nobody can see it at the minute. So turn that off. And refresh. And hopefully I will see Sandra and Jillian very soon, because I see they're about in the group already. And if you are watching on YouTube, hello. I'm talking about the Facebook group. There's my face. Evening. Hello. I will just close that over so I can get you full screen. And I will stick up a banner just where you can get free art resources for these art therapy sessions. We won't be using anything from the files section within the Facebook group, which is where the resources are saved, just in today's layout. But we have been using printables and downloads for the past couple of weeks, and they are in there. And you can find the back catalogue on YouTube up until a point, and then you have to watch like the first 15 maybe on Facebook. But you can get inside the group by following the link below, clairedb.com/FB. And hello if you are joining us. Oh yeah, go back to the comments, Claire, so you can see. Hello, Sandra. Welcome. Hi, Sandra and baby Sandra. I've already forgotten her name. Mia? Is that, am I lying? Am I telling lies? Sorry. Oh, is it still 19 weeks, or are you on 20 weeks now? Mila, so close. How do you pronounce it? Mila? Mila? Mila. Everybody can have a go. Anyway, how are you and the baby? Oh, Mila, okay. How are you doing this week? How's everybody doing this week? Let me know in the comments. If you comment on YouTube, I can see. So this is Bugs. Hello, hello, hello. And as more people come through the Facebook group, usually people are a little bit late, which is grand, and they just pop in, say hello. I always love knowing that people are watching, and if you are watching on the replay, give me a hashtag replay, just because it's great to know that people are actually responding. And it's even better if you post homework. Oh, it makes me so happy. I just have so much fun looking through the homework inside the Facebook group, and I'm just always so inspired by the creativity from everybody. Like, I will give out a topic or a project, and then you'll take it and run with it, and you've spent that time working on your mental health just by taking time out to create art, and that is fantastic. Hey Fiona, it's been a while. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. So tell me this, what is your absolute favorite thing about autumn that has just happened over the past few weeks? Because that's what we are going to be covering today. Ooh, what? Well, now I'm on tenterhooks. I need to know what happened. While Fiona is sharing her salacious gossip, whatever it is, we're going to be using the journals that we made a few weeks ago, and you can go into YouTube, or you can go back through the Facebook media section to see the journal workshop, where we created an autumnal journal and just basically wanting to fill it. There are resources inside the Facebook group. Dreambox? Did your Dreambox arrive? Ooh. So I'm going to be using this page, which I have pre-gessoed. It is a graph paper, and I've made a little mark in the center, because my favorite thing about the season has been watching this little cherry blossom tree outside. Watch the leaves change, and they've just gone bright orange, and the leaves only started falling off properly like yesterday. I mean, noticeably like, oh, there's hardly any leaves in that tree. Like they just all fell. And oh, that's brilliant. That's great. Who's building it for you? Are you building it? Is it a team effort? It can take a couple of days if you're doing it on your own, just to be warned. So yeah, if you have thin paper, like graph paper, I would add a layer of gesso for this evening's layout. I wanted it to be a bit of a free-for-all in terms of the supplies that you use. I'm using quite a few, which I'll go through at the minute. But I wanted to gesso because I would be adding some watercolor and crayons and things. And I'm only not adding some mixed media paper because I collaged on the back and it's card, it's solid. Otherwise, I would be doing this on watercolor paper, cutting it out and then adding it on a layer of like a skinny page, like sheet music or whatever. So if you have a real skinny page like sheet music or graph paper or something, but you still want to add mixed media to it, you need to reinforce it. Usually that means reinforcing the binding with tape, just in case you add too much water. I'm okay at the minute because I have added cardboard and washi tape to the back, so it is already reinforced. And then the gesso helps to add another layer where you can kind of spread watercolor or paint, and even this stuff, I've blanked on the name, it's called Glimmer Mist or Color Shine Mist. This one is by Heidi Swap. That's what I'm using this week for my background. So 3 of these came in a set, which I absolutely love. And I just want to, I love these colors in autumn for some reason. Muted, but I love the colors. And I thought it would make a beautiful background. And then in front, I will be doing my little tree, probably mostly with watercolor pencils. Just, I found all my browns. And then this for highlighting, possibly. I've got a white oil pencil because I really want to add some bright details. And I can't find not one Uni Posca white pen anywhere. And of course, just in case of emergencies, I've got all of these supplies. Watercolor crayons, straight watercolor palette. I've got a wee bit of gouache in here as well, which I think I'll be using this stuff as part of the background as well, kind of to represent the grass rather than a green color. And then these Inktense blocks. And I haven't decided to use any of these. It's just in case it's missing something. Oh, fallen out, excuse me. So I was very close to choosing apple crumble as my favorite thing for this season, but I almost made myself sick eating so much of it, so I thought I would just leave it for a while. Gesso was always really handy to have on hand in case your background ends up being too bright. And I'd love to know, again, even if you're watching the replay, let me know what your favorite thing is and what you are choosing to add to your journal. This is a bit of a goodbye to our autumnal journal, because next week we will be building our winter journal, one of those ones from scratch. Because I know you all love journal workshops and there are so many different types, and I was thinking that we could do one per season. And don't worry if you haven't filled in your autumn journal completely this year. Just remember to date your layouts from now on, and then you can use it again next year. Just always date your layouts, because you'll be grateful for it kind of in the future. I'm like, oh God, when did I do that? It's right there. So I have been going back and just dating the ones that I can recall. And then thankfully there's quite a few. I've been doing live on, I almost said on the television, on YouTube. Oh, Claire, you old lady. So I hadn't quite decided whether or not I wanted to use Tombow markers for the background or these Glimmer Mists. Well, yeah, I'm going to keep calling them Glimmer Mists because that's what the originals were called. And also they're quite glimmery and shimmery. I thought that'd be quite nice. Then with the tree on brown watercolors, and then possibly paint for the leaves. I need like bright orange, so maybe those Inktense blocks would be good, just to represent them falling off. So do I do the outline of the tree before or after I do the background? That's the question. I am thinking just after is fine. Please excuse me, I just need to move this little shelfy thing out of the way so I can wedge my iPad up so you can see. I've got some brushes. I've got 2 wee caps of water as well that you cannot see. There they are there, like little bottle caps. These are my Color Shine sprays. So I'm going to be doing just a few. Normally the spray is better, but I haven't used these in quite some time. Oh. Normally it just kind of splatters across. Oh, I'm scared I'm going to spritz myself. Oh, should have done a test run earlier. No. It's a dud, folks. It's a dud. What is your problem? I think they've all dried up, so maybe we will go to the Tombow markers. Oh, there we go. Maybe a bit of perseverance with this one will work. Oh man, that's so annoying. Why do you hate me? Nah. I will just use that. Let's see if this one works. Oh, very nearly. I think I'm gonna spread this around. I kind of like that it is splattered other pages there too. I like that it is just a light addition of color, and that you can still see the graph paper underneath. I like how bright this is and how it's kind of blended. Along with that peach is like a just beautiful shade. So it looks great. Connect the pinks up. Now, who is creating along with me? If you have just joined, I want to say hello and welcome. By the way, Fiona, is there a time zone change happening where you are anytime in the near future? I kind of need to ask everybody to just keep me up to date, because it would be very helpful. That way I can make sure everybody's getting the right times every week. It's actually turned out quite nice background thus far. I'm going to do a bit of that gouache in the bottom. I should have left more space, I think. Maybe done the gouache. Sure, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Spray bottle of water as well. Let me just. Should have left more space that was sitting just on top of the gesso. That's all dry completely, which is great. Does gouache not reactivate? Oh, it does. It does. Never mind. Yeah, it's been quite a while since I've used this palette, so it's taken the paint a wee while to come around. Maybe it doesn't. Do I have a light blue? Not that shade. I suppose I could use the Tombow marker as well. So thankfully the mists and things usually dry quite quickly. I forgot to bring a heat source, although I don't really like to use one when I don't have to. I do have one, but it is in an awkward space, so I'm just going to wait for this to dry and start outlining my tree, I think. So leaves are going to be falling. And I want my tree to be a wee bit whimsical, so I'll be doing roots all over this shop. Where'd that go? There. Does that work? Okay, so glad I've gone for a skinny tree. I think I can go up there. And oh yeah, that's the one that went off the page. Oops. Can you see the tree kind of coming together? The swirly branches. Parts will come up back to front. That's alright then. Hey Jillian, welcome, welcome. Well, yeah, I love that idea of doing leaves for your layout. That's why I'm doing my lovely tree, and I still need to figure out what I'm going to use to paint the fallen leaves because they're bright orange. Maybe crayons, not sure. I would say roots should be a bit more swirly and curly because they're meant to be digging into the earth. I like the way that the gesso has been uneven because I did it with a paintbrush to specifically to make it uneven, and it is changing the effect that the pencil has on the paper, which is great. And I think Toshia will love this one because it's using those watercolor pencils that she could never figure out how to use. These would look pretty great as well if you had, sorry, the tree trunk, if you had metallic pencils. Although the metallic background might be enough. And of course I will be adding a wee bit of water just to blend these. I could have used Prismacolor pencils too, but watercolor is just so much easier. It's a much better alternative. Right, do this lighter shade on the inside. Then I'll be blending them together. And if you were just using coloring pencils, you could just continue to layer the Glimmer Mists. Ooh, thank you very much. Is this Lisa? The Glimmer Mists do run if you add water. Yes. So there's still a couple of wet bits there that I'm just going to skip over because it can turn your pencil a wee bit strange. I always like to add my watercolor pencils after it's been applied to the page, and there is a watercolor pencil workshop that you can watch where I explained all of these. Yes, I think so. You could, I think it's still going to be in the description of this post, so the link, yeah, should be just right down at the very bottom, and you can click it so I can see your name. Yeah, if you've cleared your cookies or your history or anything like that, it would probably need to be refreshed. Yeah. pen fell out. Let's go with a darker shade again. It's going to be darker under the ground. Nope, shit, that's the top, excuse me. I've done darker underground. Ooh, I thought it was very Nightmare Before Christmas. And do you remember I had said I added the gesso with a brush? It's making the best kind of texture. Oh, you can even see it on there. That's where all the kind of white lines are showing through. It's the texture from just adding the gesso with a brush and then through watercolor paint. I think it looks pretty good. Pretty good. So let's see. So I need to concentrate, so I'm very quiet. Very quiet. I think I will use a skinny brush for that. That dark brown wasn't as dark as I thought it was going to be. It's more of chocolatey. Chocolatey. Nope, wrong one. Also wrong one. Where did I put those crayons? Oh, they're all gone forever. So here's a dark brown in here. That much I do know. I should not have been touching my face there now. Probably covered in chalk pastels. Just gonna add a touch of water. need a skinny brush. So I've done the brown a wee bit lighter up top because it's going to be above the ground, and the roots a good bit darker. Yeah. The tree, not so bad. Not so bad. Okay, so I've left more space down here because I'm going to be adding the leaves. Now, let me see. Oh, there. Now, I might do this on another page just to test it, which is going to be better. The crayon. And those are both good colours. And there's only one colour of this. So let me see. Oh, I could always use, the reason I'm struggling to decide is because of our use of watercolour. Thanks very much, bugs. Because of the use of watercolour, I don't want to add something that also reacts to water. So I might actually use oil pastels instead. But yeah, these are the kinds of colours that I would ideally have to completely kind of plaster what the ground would look like. Let me see, just put these away. Oh, need to mix these with pastels. So it's going to be from this family. Oh. And I've also got the white one here for adding detail after all this dries, although I might choose the one with the slightly pointier edge. And I'm dreading looking at my face now because my hands are covered in like charcoaly dust. Oh no. Okay, so plaster my leaves. Where would you go to? Maybe here? I really do wish I had made a distinction between like the ground and under the ground. But I quite like the way it's turning out, where you can see the roots anyway. And all of the fallen leaves. Makes no sense, but I like it. Don't know that it has to make sense. I'm just adding some leaves to the tree itself, not just the fallen ones. Ooh, whoops. I have put like fingerprints and everything all over this stupid table. Is that dry enough? Let's see. Corner's weird. Bend even. These ones haven't been done. And I'm going to add a bit of journaling and the date, which is the 12th, the 11th, 12. Oh, you might need to use a biro on top of these Glimmer Mists. I've got a biro. Oh no, wouldn't that be the worst? Whoa. So I'm just writing down that my favourite part of the season was watching the oh, there's one of those pens there, but I don't know if it's going to work. No, I would need to use ink quite possibly, but that would be too messy for just now. I think I would like to do better lettering on this side, but it is still slightly wet. So let me see what's about. This might be able to help. I would love to add some details here, there, and everywhere. Like white dots and all that. This is acrylic ink that I'm using. So what have you chosen as your topic for this autumnal layout? I know Gillian's doing leaves. What if I could do? Just random swirls in the design of the tree. Oh, Fiona, yes. I completely agree. And there are so many bright colours around in autumn, which I really love. Might be able to do some more swirls outside of it. I haven't decided yet. But I think that looks pretty good for this week's favourite fall layout. It's kind of like my tree has entered the mirror world or is upside down. I know. I've taken. Oh look! I knew it. I definitely did. Close enough. Thank you very much for joining me and taking part this week. Next week, we are going to be doing our winter journal. So you can bring along pages that are mixed sizes like we did in our autumnal journal. I might end up using quite a bit of mixed media paper and try and keep it either A5 size, so half an A4 sheet, or smaller. I haven't decided about the binding technique yet, but I will share those details inside the group during the week. Thanks very much, Bugs. I really like it, and I love the seasonal journal idea, so we're just going to keep going with that, and then each journal we can fill each season. So, or you can keep it and just keep filling it until it's full, maybe 5 years from now. Doesn't matter. As long as you are enjoying the process of creating them, and I'm delivering the journal workshops that you love so much. So yes, I can't wait to get started on another journal with you. That'll be very exciting because I love making journals. So thank you so much for joining me this week, and thank you for joining me on the replay if you're watching. It was lovely to be here with you, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you in the group this week. All right, bye.